Hey everybody, we're back here this afternoon to wrap up our first day of the week. Happy to be welcomed by the CEO of Vizsla Resources. That's Mr. Michael Konnert. Vizsla trades on the TSX Venture with VZLA and also on the OTCQB with VIZSF. Mike is joining us from Mazatlan, close to the project itself. That's the Panuco Silver Gold Project. And Mike, we're just going to go right into this morning's news. Not only was this an exceptional grade that you hit the farthest depth that you've had at Napoleon, but there's more to it as far as mineralization. So let's talk about the grade and the depth here first, and then we'll get into kind of the open book that it led you to.
Well, absolutely. So, I mean, we've stepped down 180 meters now from the previous deepest hole, and when I heard the grades there, I was just blown away. We're 10 kilo material at our deepest hole there. So it's really spectacular. And it just goes to show that, in a district like this, that's completely underexplored, we're going to find surprises like this. And so we're very excited. Napoleon ore shoot is forming up very nicely.
Okay. In this news release, you did mention that the mineralization remains open and recent drilling is confirming robust vein widths down plunge. But you threw out precious metals occur in massive sulfide. How is this a game changer, not only for Napoleon, but for the entire project?
Well, I mean, finding massive sulfides this deep into the source shoot is obviously, very, very exciting because it shows that we have, more depth extension to go and completely opens up the shoot of depth. But the other reason that this is exciting is that we're able now to use EM and other exploration tactics to kind of pinpoint some of this massive sulfide material and other ore shoots. Gives us a benchmark for exploring, with airborne tools, other ore shoots on other veins in the area. So again, it's such a huge project with so many targets that any help we get on targeting the drill targets is very welcome. So for us, it just opens up the potential to explore even more.
In layman's terms, for us who aren't geologists, how does the mineralization, I guess that's a naive way to put it, but how does the structure of this mineralization change as you find these massive sulfides? And I want to step back here because it seems like, you've been drilling vein after vein after vein, and that's kind of how we see these, when you're mining these silver projects, you're moving from vein to vein to vein. But does this kind of broaden the body of that mineralization?
Well, they do occur in the veins, but it does, I guess the best way to explain it, of course, is that it just, you get a lot of grade in a small amount of area.
Right.
And so, although, we are targeting the veins or the ore shoots, we're finding the massive sulfides in areas in the vein itself. Okay. So, it's just giving us, a lot of high value material in a small area. Now, of course, the goal is to find big broad widths of mineralization with good grades, and we're certainly seeing that in the holes above this hole. So it's really quite encouraging for us here.
Yeah, mineralization remains open to the south, north, and at depth. Napoleon continues to deliver for you. I mean, what's next here for just this specific prospect?
Well, we're grid drilling here on 50 meter centers. So we have a 2.5 kilometer vein corridor here, and Papio to the north, where we're having success with the drill rig. And we're stepping along the vein, north and south at 50 meter centers. We have 4 rigs now on the Napoleon corridor.
All right. You did put out news just last week on Papio. You and I hadn't had a chance to chat about this for the listeners here of the podcast. But give us what that news was from Papio. 413 grams per ton silver equivalent, another 1,000 grams per ton silver equivalent, just to give you the headlines there. But what's the latest from Papio other than just continue drilling?
Well, you nailed it there. We just have to keep drilling on it. But I think it's encouraging just that we're, in each of these target areas. So we have, 4 main areas that we're drilling now. The Napoleon corridor is the most developed. And, what this shows us is that, over a kilometer stretch, and then even to the north and the south of that kilometer stretch, we're continuing to find, good grades, and I think it just shows us that we, it's just begging to be drilled systematically in a grid formation. And I think the potential for multiple ore shoots here along Napoleon is very real. And Papaya, of course, needs more work. It's not as developed as the Napoleon proper discovery, but we're certainly encouraged by those numbers.
You are on the ground at the work site, so that's got to be a relief for you, I'm assuming.
It is, yes. Yeah, it's been great to get down here. And one of the things, we always talk about this, and maybe it's kind of repetitive, but one of the things that's so important to point out is just the absolute scale of the district here. And we're moving towards having 8 rigs on the project shortly, and the team is doing an excellent job. We have a true district scale to explore. So, this has to be one of the most exciting exploration programs in maybe the world, but certainly Mexico, because we're really hitting the ground running very hard here, exploring very aggressively, and our success rate for discoveries has been really remarkable.
Yeah.
So
got to ask, there's a little thing floating around trending online called a silver squeeze. I'm sure you've heard of it down there, and you're not completely cut off from the world, obviously. But I'm just kind of curious, as the CEO of a silver exploration company, what has been some of the dialogue you have had in the recent days?
Well, I've been really a proponent of silver here for quite some time, and of course, being a CEO of a silver company, we talk to a lot of the people, Jake Ducey, we've really been kind of working with him and sharing some ideas with him. And it's really been exciting to see, what we all were hoping was going to happen with silver and the silver price, and, it becoming topical and popular. It's really exciting to see this happening in real time. And so, the silver squeeze and the mainstream adoption of this, I think, is just starting. But anytime that these commodities or the thing that you're exploring for becomes popular or starting to see an uptake on the mainstream, it's really an exciting thing to see, especially when you're drilling 10-kilo holes in a massive district too. So I think the future for silver is very bright, and I think the future for Vizsla is very bright as well.
It's going to be an exciting week. February looks pretty fun as well. But so we'll see how the silver market itself plays out. But as far as Vizsla, give our listeners kind of an idea of what to expect here in the next week or two.
Well, we're very rapidly drilling, so there may be more news out from the project there. We're also contemplating some corporate updates having to do with the copper spin out that we have here as well. So we're spinning out our copper assets. So shareholders can look forward to more clarity on the number of shares that they'll receive, name changes, those type of things as part of the corporate update. So, I think this is it's really becoming more and more exciting to be a shareholder.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just fun to be a shareholder. Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate your time. Be safe down there, and I look forward to catching up with you here in another couple weeks, perhaps.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Trevor.
Mining Stock Daily and its affiliates are not responsible for any loss arising from any investment decision in connection with the material presented herein. Please do your own research or speak with a licensed financial representative before making any investment decision.